Howdy y'all, this is Chris, just trying to give you a rundown on how to take the Strymon Volante and DMC.Micro and make them work together. First and foremost, you're going to need to unplug your Strymon and plug it back in, and as you're plugging it back in, you need to hold your tap button. You'll come to this menu after about probably 10 seconds of holding it, after it does all its clicks and startup, and you'll notice that this light on tap should indicate what MIDI channel you're on. If it's blue, that's on 4 through 16. That's what I have mine set to. And then these are the other sub-menu or setup menu modes I have. One of these being the buffered bypass, which gives you tails. But just note that this needs to be blue. You use the record level, turn it until you see blue, and that'll send it to 4. Then you want to hit tap, and it'll save all your settings and go back to normal. Let's move on to setting them up together. I basically wanted to start having a option of what delays I was using on this rather than just having basically two from a foot standpoint, like being able to click it on or off, rather than just having 2 presets for my worship sets at church, which include 4 songs usually, with us going back to one of the first songs, so usually actually 5, being able to swap back to that preset without having to tap in the time, without having to dial anything, without having to reach down and hit a different preset like this, like in the middle of a song, which I could do, but it's just not very practical. I wanted to have something to switch. At first I thought about getting the Switcher Plus thing from Strymon, but I don't have that much room on this board. I could have probably actually put it up here now that I rearranged my board, but I had already decided to go the MIDI route. There's not very many videos online showing a DMC being used with a Volante, definitely, or any Strymon pedals really. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you kind of what to look forward to, what settings I used to get it set up for my Volante, which I'm only running it as a 1 device setup from the MIDI, so there's no secondary MIDI controlled device on this. If there was a way to do the Flint with it, I would, but the Flint is not MIDI capable actually, because it's pretty much a reverb with a tremolo. It would be cool if they had a MIDI function controlling the speed and intensity of the tremolo, but they don't, and that's fine. I actually like it just as a auxiliary effect that I kick on once in a while. Most of my effects are inside this bad boy. Anyways, for preset menu and stuff, let's I'll show you what you need to do, which is go inside this menu. I have it set up for 30 presets. Basically, if you go all the way down to 0 and then past, it'll say off. But this just basically tells your controller how many presets you want to have open and ready. So you hold back to go back into the menu. When I started the DMC up, you'll notice that after it started scrolling the words Disaster Area, I held the Alt button until it said Setup. Once it said Setup, I'm in the Setup menu. Let's go ahead and go down to Preset Channels. I don't remember if this is even necessary. I don't think it is. I just have it set up for where it's using 1 device, which is the A. The 00 is the B and C not being used. Hold the Alt to go back to the menu again. Go down to Device. I have it set up for Device A. If you go to Device B, that's 2 devices. Device C, that's 3 devices. And then there's off. You really don't even need this on, but I have it on anyways to device A, so there's 1 device being selected. Device A, you could go in there. What device is it? I actually have it set up to the timeline after experimenting with global or the timeline setting. I actually found it worked very nicely with this in timeline setting. So I went ahead and just left it on timeline after like trialing it, and then you don't need to set up device B or any of this other stuff. That's pretty much all you got to do in here to have it to where I have it set for my Volante right now. I'm still in the preset menu. If you want to escape and save, you just hold this down, it'll say save, and then it'll click and it goes to your presets. I basically was able to plug and play straight to the Volante and have presets set up. The only thing I had to change was the number of presets. Originally, I only had 12 presets available for me, and I changed it to 30, so I had plenty of flexibility. So basically, after I did that, I was able to scroll through the 8 preset slots. You'll notice that you're in those by the favorite light still being green, or the number, of course. But let's say you go up to preset 8, which is actually number 9 in the Volante, because 0 is number 1, number 1 is number 2, actually, etc., etc. So 8, you'll notice that the favorite light turns to orange, and you can just basically, you go through and you can program whatever. Let's say you get something you want to save to a preset. As long as your Volante is up to date, which I think this is on 1.12 right now, you can do this. You can hold the favorite, get the blue light, push the favorite again, and it overlaps or overwrites the current preset. So let's say we want to, first just to confirm, go back to preset 21 like it's fresh again. Let's say we want to change the spring, like it's set at 0 basically for this channel. Let's say we want to update it and have spring more at the 11 o'clock position. And then let's add another feedback. Hold this, get it blue, press favorite down, go up to 22, back to 21. We can tell that it's changed because before it only had these two. Now it has that one, and you'll notice that the spring is up now. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and change it right back. I barely had some spring on. Didn't have that second feedback. Let's hold. Save it. Go up, go down, check it again, and it's saved. So it's pretty simple to use. On this Sunday, I actually, early this week, I made these 4 simple presets where I could always just have a straight up 16th, 8th, dotted, quarter, and just be set up, ready to go. But then I have these presets that I used on Sunday. This was our first song, this was our second song, this is our third song, fourth song, and then I ended up going back to 25 to finish the set. And it made my life so much simpler. It's very easy to use and very simple to plug and play almost. But if you want a guaranteed results of a preset mode, these are the settings I used, and it worked. It works flawlessly, and it's easy to overlap your stuff. Now let's say you want to create a new preset. Let's go to preset for, let's do 17. Let's say we wanted to have a 16th with a dotted 8th following it, and you want to save that to 17. From inside your manual knobs mode, you just hold that down, click that, go up, and boom, 17 is now saved with the knobs. So like here I'm in the knob setting, which is where the favorite light isn't indicated. I would just hold down, get it to blink blue, like I said before, and now it's saved in there. But if I go to the knobs, it's the same exact thing. So that just shows you how you can easily set up a preset. Let's say you want to move a preset you already have made. Like let's say you want to take 17. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated. Let's say you want to take, let's do 18, so it's not the exact same as this, just to confirm. Let's say you want to pull up 18. The way you do it, go find the preset that you want. Let's say we're going to move this preset to 12. We're going to put the preset 17 on 12. Have it set to 11. Hold this down. You'll notice that I'm at 11 inside of this. There's A5 B setting. Then if I went down A5 A setting, that would be a different preset. Let's go back up to that preset we wanted to drag down there. Let's open it up. Then we're going to hold this. It's going to be still on this preset, even though I went back to the preset modes. You would hold this down for blue. And then when you scroll up to 12, it puts in the MIDI CC message to go to 12. And that's going to save because the light is blinking blue. It's waiting for the next message to save it to that preset. So if we go to, I let it time out. But it's still pulled up, so we can just hold the blue button again. Go to 12. Now it remembers that as 12. And like I said, that's the only weirdish thing about this, is you have to go into this menu, scroll down to the preset you want to move, but have it prepped where when you go back to the preset menu, you can just scroll up one channel and set it to that on through this once you hold your favorite button and get it to blink blue. So that's how you would move a preset inside of there. In my opinion, it's much easier to just dial in the knobs setting, dial what you want and place it exactly where you want it, than it is to copy and paste. But you can copy and paste technically to that spot. You just have to use the next page of presets, which is talking more so to your device. It just works. If you use the steps I just did, it works. I hope this helps. Hopes this maybe inspires you to get a DMC. It took me a little while to finally convince myself to buy a DMC because there was nobody online that was doing this. But I figured, you know what? I'm this deep into a pedal board, I can probably figure out how to use a simple MIDI to one device thing. Eventually I might try 2 devices, but we'll see. Hopefully that helps you, and hopefully you either A, check out the Volante, or B, check out the DMC.Micro and know that it's not near as much to dive into as you probably think. Hope this helps. Goodbye.